Carbon dating puts the cube here around 10,000 BC. The first 7 didn't find it until 1913. President Hoover had the dam built around it. 4 football fields thick of concrete, a perfect way to hide its energy from being 1913. They knew it was alien because of the matching hieroglyphics on the cube as well.
The artificial intelligence in the Transformers film, Beneath the Hoover Dam. I wanted to open up today's show with a follow-up from yesterday's show because we saw this exact same thing play out in the Westworld newest season, in which the artificial intelligence was stored inside of Hoover Dam. Now, what does all this mean? Well, Hoover Dam is the demonic symbol for the birthing in of the artificial intelligence. I'm not sure exactly how all this is going to shake out, but it's apparent that this is what these people are talking about when they're referencing this. Now, let's play a little bit more of this and see if we can glean any other information.
As well as in B1. President Hoover had the dam built around it. 4 football fields thick of concrete, a perfect way to hide its energy from being detected by anyone or any.
So this is obviously the Allspark.
Please step inside. They have to lock us in.
Is this BlackBerry key alarm cell phone?
I got it.
We're able to take the cube radiation, funnel it into that box.
So they take the radiation from the cube and they create artificial intelligence, which then becomes the personalities, the brains, and everything of the Transformers. And they can animate any mechanical object.
Kind of like the itty-bitty Energizer bunny from hell, huh?
Now, if you think about the ramifications of this, the word transformer, and what it means on a spiritual and esoteric level, then it means we're headed for trouble, doesn't it?
Check. What's going on?
The NB1 hangar has lost power and the backup generator is just not going to cut it.
Get everyone to the NB1 chamber now!
You've got the sub-zero temperatures all falling in line with everything that was going on with the Smack the Nation that also had to be stored at sub-zero temperatures. Now that was Megatron you just saw, and I think we decoded this at one time and covered a lot of this, but it has even more spiritual ramifications given what we just went through with the spam-demic. So I wanted to open the show with that clip. Let's go back in here and make sure you guys are with me, and we'll get into the rest of today's show as we examine the new Vatican coin set. Now, thanks to the subscribers who were on me about this weeks and weeks ago, Casey, you need to decode the Vatican coins that were commemorating the Smack the Nation. Now, during my research, I encountered several blogs that had already covered this coin, and they were already billing this as the 30 pieces of silver that Judas accepted to betray Jesus. Now, I tend to agree with that. Not too far off from the truth, because there's a choice, isn't there? You choose the caduceus or you choose Jesus on the cross. But there's so much more to this story than meets the eye, as there always is, as we dive deep into the meaning of this entire coin set. Now, we know that we cannot serve two masters. And so we have to be careful how we talk about this. But in effect, it's faith versus the farm. And many people don't understand that. They think that you can do both, but the Bible is clear. Now, here are the coins. I'm going to pull up a high resolution image of this so we can see this in detail. And here you see the first thing that I noticed was this progression from silver to copper. Going from the top denomination of 20 euros in the set down to the lowest denomination, which is 1 cent, 1 euro cent, down here. And it appears to me to represent an Ouroboros shape. An Ouroboros, a snake eating its tail. Now, the set goes for a cost of 180 euro. And this is where we're going to get into some of these numbers, because this is very important. Here's one of the blogs comparing this to the 30 pieces of silver. Because you have 20 euro at the top denomination. And I think there are 9 pieces, so it's like 29. But there's only 9 total pieces. But let's get into the market value of this. Because 180 euro, of course, is 60 euro plus 60 euro plus 60 euro. 666. Now, there's many more 666s I found in examining these coins. So, we will get into that as the show progresses. But this was the very first one that jumped out at me. What else is going on with this coin set? Well, if you look at the details of this, let me make this bigger for you guys. You can see this from the official Vatican site. The diameter is 6 times 6 millimeters, 66. And so I looked at these denominations, and it took me about 30 minutes to decode what they're actually showing us here. The only way I actually was able to see exactly what they were showing us here in terms of the denominations was to go back and look at the regular denominations of the euro, because they have the cent, they have the 5 and the 10 cent, because this is a little bit confusing when you look at these values here. It looks a little bit confusing, but I decoded it, and there are 9 coins in the set. Let's go back to them here. There are actually 9 coins in the set. And I wanted to see what these denominations added up to. So there's a 1 euro. Let's go over them here. Which is one of these top ones. There's a 2 euro, which is one of these top ones. Here's the 20 euro. Here's the 1 cent, the 2 cent. There's actually a 2 cent in there as well. A 5 cent, a 10 cent, and a 20 cent. And a 50 cent. So all those are contained in here according to their list. They're not all depicted here, but they're contained in this. And I added all of them up, and it came to 23.88 euro. Now, why is this significant in this set that is commemorating the poking of young people to do our part to get rid of VidCo-19? Why is this significant? Well, there's many, many reasons. That 88 number is significant because it is the number of degrees that the needle at the Vatican points to its obelisk. Let's go into Google Earth really quick and take a look at this. Because we had discovered this about the coins years ago. In 2015, we were looking, these are all videos from 2015, we were looking at the world currencies: Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Caribbean money, Mexican pesos, Canadian money, Japanese, Australian, Chinese, the ruble. What else do we have here? British money, the euro. And back then, and it's crazy because these videos have a lot of thumbs down on them. And we're only seen by a few hundred people. Yet they're sitting right here on this channel because I just looked them up. This is a screenshot from my channel. And we were noticing that all of the coinage of these currencies adds up to either 666 or 88. Now, that's not an accident. The odds of that happening are 1 in trillions. So the question is what does it mean? Well, let's go into Google Earth and let me show you Vatican City and its rotunda and obelisk. Now, this particular live show will probably go down in history because of what I'm going to show you next. The root meaning of the rotunda and the obelisk. What is a rotunda? It's this bulb-like structure that's actually an umbrella. And the needle. You have the bulb and the needle. And it's always been about this. Now let's zoom this up a bit as I show you the 88-degree alignment of the rotunda and the needle. You can't make this up. You can't stretch it. There it is right there. 88 degrees. Now you probably can't see this on your screen because this number right here, I can't zoom this up, but this is the heading. It's an 88-degree heading. Now what's going to shock you about this, let me save this line here so you can see this. I'm going to rotate this around. What's shocking about this is that this 88-degree alignment of this obelisk is shared by another place, another obelisk and bulb. Let's draw the line again. And then I'll show you the other place on the planet where this is shared. There's the line right there, 88-degree heading. Now, and some people can get this to exactly 88.88. There's the obelisk. Let's zoom this obelisk up so you can see that there is an obelisk here at the Vatican, as a matter of fact. There it is. And then we'll get into what this means. The bulb and the needle is the oldest and rudimentary forms of how something was injected into something else. Now, before we look at the other place aligned to 88 degrees, I want to look at the difference in the face value, which we just determined was 23.88, and the sale value of 180. And for that, I'm going to pull out our tool so I can write on the screen. Let's do it on this screen here. On this screen. Now, this is groundbreaking information because the odds of this happening are 1 in trillions. You have to accept that there was a preconceived idea to make all of the currencies add to these numbers. You have the 666 and you have the 88. Now let's do a little drawing on this screen here. Because we had 180 euro as the value. Let's make a brighter color here. I'm going to let you decide what all this means. I'm just showing you the information. So we had 180 euro for the value. We then had 23.88 for what they add up to. And you take the difference of these two numbers, you get 156.12. That is the difference. Let's make this bigger. So what, Casey? 66.66. Now that your mind is thoroughly blown, let's look at the date and time that this released on Twitter. 3:33 a.m., June 20th, 2022. June 20th, 2022. 6/20, 2022, which is 2 6s and a 6. So another 666. I told you there were a lot of 666s surrounding this. Now, again, the odds of all these numbers lining up like this by pure chance is 1 in trillions. And when you dovetail that in with the fact that we did all of these videos adding up the coinage from all these currencies, and the number 88 and 66, 666 keeps appearing over and over again, now you're starting to see that there is an overarching eye, an overarching entity dictating how the world's currencies would be designed. And maybe this is why the Bible says it's harder for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get to heaven, and that the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, let's go back into Google Earth, but let's first look at the rotunda of the inside of the bulb, which to me looks like the inside of an umbrella. And on the exterior, of course, is the umbrella tip, but instead they put the cross here as the tip, but really they're using something else, the ferrule tip, aren't they? Now, the Vatican has had a long history during polio and all these things of smacking the nation around the world, administering these things to the children and people around the world. Long-standing tradition, and maybe we know why. Now we're going to go to another place all the way across the planet. But before we do, I need to show you where this red line points to. That's coming off on the right side of your screen, heading right towards the Vatican. Make sure you guys are with me. This is a very important show for those with eyes to see. Make sure you guys are with me, and we'll continue on here. Welcome everyone to the show. Thanks for showing up. Now, where does this red line go? Well, it goes to Astana, Kazakhstan. Let's follow it around the planet, around the plane at. Zoom this out. Now, why do they make these alignments? Well, the alignments are to prove a point. The alignments are to try to demonstrate their reign over the rest of us. Here we go down into Astana, and that red line going up to the top is the one that points directly to the needle of Astana. See the needle there? Now we drew that a while back because it's actually in the landscape of Astana. Look at this. Now where is this line? Well, the line that was pointing to the Vatican is actually this line. It forms this edge here. And I was just drawing lines out from this landscape from Astana, Kazakhstan. And I was like, where do these lines go? This red line goes to the Temple of the Feathered Serpent. And we found that there was a feathered serpent right here. They call it the Phoenix. But there's actually a snake here inside of these feathered wings. You could barely make it out there. If you go in the history here, the way back, let's go back a couple years, you can see that this was the original design of this feathered creature, was to have this serpent in here. See it? Squiggly serpent. The serpent. So you can see it really good here. So, we started years ago, we started drawing lines off of this thing, seeing where they went. This one went to the Temple of the Feathered Serpent. Look at this. A pyramid looking like an obelisk. The same worldwide order. And this syringe built right into the design with a bulb at the end. See if we can turn this on and off. Let's get rid of this thing here. It's not going to let us. I had overlaid another syringe next to this so you guys could see this. But the file's gone. That's why there's a big X there. File's gone. Okay, well, let's keep looking here. Let's see if we can turn this needle on and off. Here it is, Astana syringe. Okay, now you can see the needle clearly. If I turn on and off the lines that I've drawn, you can see that there is a hypodermic needle. It's all about the bulb and the needle. Always has been. Always has been. And the lines projecting off of this again point back to the Vatican. Now, we found many other hypodermic needles hidden in the landscape in major cities around the world. You'll have to look those up on the channel, cover each one. For some reason, they weren't that popular. Less than 10,000 people had seen those videos. I thought those were the most damaging videos because it shows that they've built these syringes into the landscape, which is what they're trying to do to all of us. Let's go to a different place now with another 88-degree alignment. And that would be, of course, Washington, D.C. Now, if you don't understand how alignments work, let me try to explain it to you. These are headings, compass headings. And look, what do we have here? Another hypodermic needle hidden in the landscape, right into Washington, D.C.'s lawn. The Washington lawn. Here, of course, is the monument here, pointing up like a needle. A hollow needle, by the way, 555 feet, 666. What is it? 666 inches? I can't remember. It's 555 and 666. The hollow needle. And we just drew lines around the design here to the crapper hole building. And another needle emerged. Now, here's the rotunda here, so you could get your bearings. So you have a rotunda, a bulb, and a needle again. To say there's no connection between the two of these is being dishonest. There has to be a connection. Now let's keep going. Let's draw this line. Let's draw the 88-degree heading again. We go from the tip of this to, zoom this out so you guys can see this clearly, to the needle. "88 degrees. Got the line in there. Now, some people are like, oh, it's 90 degrees. No, it's not. It's 88. This one's a little off to the left there. Let's fix that. Sometimes Google Earth acts a little bit funny. Now, you can do this yourself in Google Earth. Google Earth is a free program. They actually have an online version of it as well. But here you see 88.88 degrees is the alignment. Parallel to this line, going right down the center here. And then lining up with the needle on the other side. Now I'll let you do that for yourself so you can see it with your own eyes. But there's something going on here. Now, this has other ramifications as well, doesn't it? Because when you look here, where is the needle pointing to? The Lincoln Memorial. We've told you before, let's spin this around so you can see this better. We've told you before that the whole Planet of the Apes thing, where they show Lincoln as a monkey inside of this. Remember, Lincoln was the first president to be doing seances in the White House. His wife. This is where I believe the first demonic spirit entered the presidency in the United States, which is what they told Lincoln to start building the copper matrix, the transatlantic telegraph line. He was into helium, helios, and methane to power the very first American Air Force, which was the balloons that were used to beat the Confederacy in the South, with his Anaconda plan, which was a plan to use a big black snake, that's how it was depicted, to surround the South and blockade them. And all of this demonic activity, this is why they keep referencing Lincoln over and over again, because he was, I think, one of the first. This was the unholy alignment. So, now you know the truth. The secret of 88 and 66. And what the actual obelisk and rotunda really means. It's a hypodermic needle. Now, we're going to switch gears a second here. I'm going to check in with you guys. And we're going to connect all the dots for you and break all this down, because it goes a level deeper. We were talking yesterday's show about Baron Samedi, the Conductor's wand in iPetGo 2. I'm going to play this out. It's in slow motion. And I told you yesterday that these wands were probably a metaphor for needles. Needle 1 and needle 2. Needle 1 and needle 2. Dose 1 and dose 2. And directly after this scene, the child emerges resurrected out of the obelisk. Or is it all starting to sink in now? I'm sorry, not the obelisk. Out of the bulb, the broken bulb, the broken rotunda. The child emerges out. This animated film releasing exactly 10 years to the day, June 24th, 2012, of the day that they outlawed Roe v. Wade. And I'm wondering if this has something to do with a give and take, like many of you are saying. Oh, we'll give you Roe v. Wade, but that means we're going to smack the Nate your children. Child resurrects, but you see the child is not really there. It's possessed. In the whirling dervish, it's possessed by a spirit into the moon, which also is a symbol of possession or not being within your right mind during the full moon. Unbelievable. Right before our eyes the whole time. The bulb is broken. It is released. Child is then possessed with the spirit, the serpent in the chest, rising up into the full moon. Now, what are you talking about, Casey? You're losing it, man. I always get one or two. Had one yesterday. You're crazy. What are you thinking? Do you really think that all this stuff is true? Well, this child you're looking at on your screen right now just woke up out of a bunch of needles on the ground laying next to him. Let's go back. Got to show you. Where is it? There it is. Let's play it up here. I wish all this wasn't true, but here you have a 10-year-old video. Now, I didn't discover that this was the 10-year-old video. Someone else discovered that. Thank you to that channel. If you guys could shout them out in the chat here. Whoever discovered that the Roe v. Wade was overturned on the exact 10-year anniversary of this animated film, give them a shout out, please. I don't want to claim credit for credit that is not due. But look at this. Look at the needle tips in the caps here. And the child raises up. Back here. Where'd it go? As I just showed you. Now, the conductor. What is that about? What is Baron Samedi, the conductor, really all about? Well, your mind's about to be blown again, because this is a conductor's baton. And as you can see, they have what is called a bulb, just like the rotunda. The bulb made of cork, oak, walnut, rosemary, or aluminum, tailored to the conductor's hand. A hidden bulb. No one ever sees this. I didn't know there was a bulb inside the conductor's hand like this. But there it is. Made out of these different materials. Here's a bunch more bulbs. Look at this. Hand conductor's baton. Stock photo. Why would they show this for a hand conductor's baton as a stock photo? It's beginning to sink in, isn't it? Here are ancient, vintage, I should say, things used to inject things into people. Now, even though we don't have any Egyptian, references or any Egyptian examples of this, it is well understood that these bulbs are used to inject things, aren't they? As well as to suck things out. The best example we have of this is the one used to take this one here, the bulb syringe used for children to remove like mucus and things, right? Wow. So now it's all starting to sink in as Baron Samedi does his ritual dance to bring in the era of the double needle. Let me go back into the chat. We can discuss this further. But you would think that a video like this would go viral, but it won't. And it's up to you guys. Now, I have some words about this on tomorrow's show. I pre-recorded a show for you guys. And we're going to talk a little bit about responsibility in our community. Okay? Because there were a lot of people that had some pretty negative feedback about me doing any further collaborations. But the thing is that it's all of our responsibilities to help grow this channel. Now, people have said, "Oh, why do you want to grow your channel so bad?" Well, that's exactly what Jesus and the disciples did. They grew their subscribership, didn't they? They could have easily just sat in their one little town and not won souls to the gospel and been very comfortable and protected and had numbers. But that's not what they did they? They were fishers of men. So if our channel is staying the same size, we need to break outside of that in a supernatural way. And I've agreed not to do and given up the temptation of collaborating with a bunch of celebrity channels. But then we all need to work together to grow the channel, just like Jesus grew the gospel and the saved souls. How do we save souls here? Well, we open their eyes and then turn them to the gospel. We show them that we live in a matrix, that the controllers from top to bottom do not have our best interests at heart, that they are controlling us and sending us down a preset path and deceiving 99% of the people that live on this planet. And that is how you win souls to the gospel. So it isn't about us growing this channel for our individual needs or wants. It's about how effective are we at being fishers of men and going from town to town and growing the channel. So that's what this is about. I have some more words on it tomorrow, but let's go into the chat here and see what you guys are up to. Yes, it is a spiritual battle, absolutely. Now, as we go into this 4th of July, understand that Baron Samedi character that you just saw. Uh-oh, did I lose you guys? Looks like we got knocked off for a minute. That Baron Samedi that you just saw was also underneath a 4th of July fireworks. So here we are going into the 4th of July weekend. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not predicting anything because we've been through 10 4th of Julys since that animated film came out. But we are at the 10-year anniversary. We are at the 10-year anniversary. So, is this the 4th of July? I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't like to predict things on this channel. So, as I always tell you guys, everything on this channel, all the glory goes to the Most High. He's the one that has revealed these things to us. And everybody knows that every single day we are revealing these things for him and through him, but yet our channel's stuck. It's impossible, actually, isn't it? You got channels uploading once or twice a week, growing faster than ours, with half the information and half the revelations. So we have to break outside of that, and that's up to all of you. And I'll tell you how to do that on tomorrow's show. But you guys are the feet on the ground. You're the boots on the ground. You're like the disciples. I'm not Jesus. I'm not saying I'm Jesus. I'm just saying that, if we're to share the gospel, we have a voice here that reaches a lot of people as it sits now, but it should be reaching 100 times more. So we got some things that we can do to break outside of this trap that they have us in, with only our same people hearing the same words over and over again. All right, Mickey Mouse says the conductor wand controls time. Yeah, isn't that interesting? I agree with you. All right, what do we have here? Someone said there were some trolls in the chat. Let me try to address that. And our channel's been on here as long as iPet Goat 2 has been there. It's literally been 10 years. So Sean is creating issues. Why would you say that, Sean? More freedom here than I think I've ever seen in my entire life. God-fearing people. See, the enemy is always going to say the exact opposite of what the truth is. Every single person I talk to calls me sir, and I have brown skin. So, mission failed there. All right. They control the numbers no matter what. That doesn't mean we stop trying. Okay? Because unfortunately, we live in a society where numbers mean everything to the people that are asleep, right? So we have to break outside of that. We have to show them so much growth that they can't deny it anymore. It's already a joke, right? The most suppressed channel on YouTube. 10 years, every single day uploading. And here we are sitting at literally 1/10 of what all of our peers have achieved on this platform. So it's kind of a running joke, but that doesn't mean we have to stay here and accept it. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Jesus had multitudes. He never stopped at what he just had or what the enemy tried to contain him into, did he? He said, dust off your feet and go to the next town. So I'm doing my part. I'm not going to do the collaborations, but then you guys got to do your part too and help grow this channel. And it's a personal thing, and pray about it and ask the Lord, what can I do to help this channel reach more ears? Because this information is so powerful that it will bring people to, and then God will give you the answers. And we're going to talk about some of that tomorrow. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, the thumbs up always help. That's just something you should do every single time that you agree with the information, that you've prayed on it, is thumbs up the video. That will automatically help. I think we forget to do that sometimes. That's one way, but there's other ways that we can do this. All right. The people that do not want to see won't see. Yes, that is true. But here's the thing. There's a room for growth on this channel because there are a lot, like I just said, there are a lot of other channels doing a quarter of the work that are growing faster, that are truth channels. So where are all those people on this channel? They're not here, are they? So there's a lot of room for growth. I would feel better if this channel had 400,000 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers. Totally achievable on this platform in the truth community, but we don't. So, here goes Sean again. Jesus absolutely lives in Arkansas. Let's time him out. It's just disrupting the chat. Gaslighting. We call that gaslighting. People say exactly the opposite of what the truth is. It's a gaslighting effort to get attention. Where'd he go? Somebody help me find this person. Distracting, dividing, gaslighting. So there's your first warning. Next time it's deletion. So what else do we have? Thanks, Warrior for Truth. And that's how we do it. And I'll talk more about it tomorrow. All right. What else do we have here? Yes, Arkansas is very loving. Thank you. Spent enough time here to know that. Okay, everybody already blocked a person. Okay, good. All right. Yes, we are telling the truth, but there are a lot of other channels on YouTube telling the truth as well. Maybe not in an as effective way, that are much, much larger than our channel. So, Desert says collaborate. The problem with that, and I'll give my thoughts tomorrow on that, is that if you're not aligned spiritually with some of these collaborations, it can bring negative vibes and negative spiritual consequences back to our channel. So you got to be very careful who you align with or even who you interview with these days. I remember Brandy Vaughn, huge whistleblower against Merck. And she didn't know. She was new to the truth community. And she went and interviewed with all kind of the wrong people. She was on Jones and these things. And that just immediately, in a lot of people's eyes, discredited her. Even though I knew her personally and I knew she was legitimate. And I tried to warn her, but who's going to say no to a huge interview like that? And that's where we're sitting at right now. A lot of offers for interviews, but who do we want to align with? Who do we want to? Because immediately that could start to discredit this channel. That's the last thing we want to do. So the path is narrow. I will be suspicious if you had millions of subscribers. It doesn't have to be millions, but we can all agree that we've been downgraded. That's all I'm saying, you guys. There's a lot more people that can be reached. And when you get to that level, then it can also help wake other people up who are hung up on the numbers. You see what I mean? There's a certain legitimacy that comes to that for the sleep people. They see huge numbers and then they go, oh, that person has something to say that I need to listen to. And it kind of then takes on a mind of its own, and then it can grow and reach more people. So that's all I'm saying. We're not talking millions. We're talking, at least where our peers are. All right. Skywalker is doing research on the Umbrella Corp today. Cool. Now, I want to, give a caveat to that. We had a really great collaboration with the Midnight Ride and those guys. That's not what we're talking about today. That actually was a good fit. What I'm talking about is future collaborations with other people. I needed to say that because I'm sure some of you are going, wow, did something happen? No, nothing happened. Those guys are great. John Pounders and the crew, perfect fit. Even though there was a few things that we don't particularly agree on in terms of doctrine, for the most part, that was a great fit. But the future collaborations I'm talking about are people still stuck in the right-left paradigm, still Trump supporters, still letter that shall not be named supporters, some borderline New Age. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm going to forego and not interview with, because that could bring an element to our channel that we don't want. Okay. And again, that's not a criticism of those channels. I'm just stating that we're all on different paths. Okay. And some people even have good intentions, but they might be off on a side road until they can get back on the right path, right? So, all right, you guys, enough of that. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Again, it's a pre-recorded show, so hopefully I'll be in the chat with you guys, which will be fun. If not, it's because I had something very important I had to go do, but that's what I'm hoping to do. We have videos already scheduled throughout the weekend, except on 4th of July. Because I know a lot of people are going to be distracted with that. So, but throughout the weekend and early next week, I've already got videos uploaded for you guys. And we will be in the chat with you guys, hopefully. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in the morning. Take care and be safe.